This time last year, I was at a lot warmer place. I was speaking up at the Gold Coast at the Pro Blogger Conference, where professional bloggers from all around the planet converged. It was fascinating to me because it was a completely different audience to that I'm used to speaking to. But I did have one question that I wanted to ask a lot of these professional bloggers, because I had this theory about people's typing skills and their ability to blog. And so I asked them, how fast can you type? Guess what? All of these established professional bloggers could all touch type at 60 words a minute and above. If you can hit 60 words a minute, that's 5 characters a second for those of you keeping count. Then you can type as fast as you think. And it's possible. It's a learned skill like anything else. You just need to be taught. If you're my age or older, you probably missed the whole touch typing. You may have done a keyboarding class when you're in school. But the ability to get your words, ideas, and thoughts out quickly into your marketplace is vital. And so if you are hamstrung because the concept of typing anything is not fun, and I struggle with it. I have this problem myself, right? Is that I think faster than I can type. Fortunately, I've come up with 2 solutions. As I said, one is to teach yourself to touch type, and I'm currently using a site called Typing Web. And that, let me just check here, the URL is very easy. It's typingweb.com. Simple. So I use that, and I'm up to about 25 words a minute touch typing. Nowhere near fast enough yet, but there are places where I'm about to tell you this second thing that you can't do. Some of you may have heard me speaking about dictation before, computer dictation, and boy, has it come a massively long way. Drag and Naturally Dictate on the PC, or Drag and Dictate on the Mac, really is now a phenomenal product. And unfortunately, you do have to pay some money for it. I think it's a couple of $100. Although if you keep an eye out, often they do have specials. But it is so worth it. Because if you commit to it, and this is one of the key tips of dictation, you'll find yourself producing so much more content. It's insane. And I found that too, but I want to tell you about, with the most recent editions of Drag and Dictate, something which has made it even better. There are a bunch of reasons why touch typing is good, and being able to get your words down quickly are good. Obviously, posture, the ability to use the correct functions on the screen because you're seeing what you're typing on the screen. Spelling mistakes, typographical errors, all those things are a problem. When you dictate, my spelling is world famous for how bad it is. When you dictate, you don't have any of those problems, right? Because it's Drag and Dictate that's spelling the words for me, not me. And it's a much better speller than I am. Now, there's a couple of golden rules to dictation. Then I'm going to show you one killer new technique that I'm using, which just changes the game as far as I'm concerned when it comes to dictation. So, first rule is when you're dictating, never, ever, ever look at the screen and watch what's being dictated. It will drive you bonkers. This is the #1 mistake people make when dictating to their computer. Look away, do anything else, but whatever you do, do not look at the screen. Now I'm going to show you something which makes that impossible in a second, which is so awesome, so cool. So that's point 1. Point 2 is never, ever correct your dictation. In other words, go through and correct it until the day after, so you're completely fresh. Okay, this is a huge deal too, because if you've just dictated a whole bunch of words and then you sit down to edit it straight away, your brain's not in the right space for editing. You have to keep those functions completely separate. At the very least, go for a walk. Do something else for an hour. Just get out of where you're at. Those 2 tips will make dictation so much more pleasurable. I can barely type 600 words thereabouts, and that's not touch typing, in 30 minutes. I can dictate 3,000 words in 30 minutes. And now I'm going to show you my secret weapon. Let me introduce you to my little friend, a dictaphone. Yes, this is a good old standard. This one is a little bit fancy pants, but seriously, there are so many great and cheap dictaphones you can get. Now, the reason I use a dictaphone now is because, well, for a start, dictation's been done for a long time, and these dictaphones are set up for dictation. But what it also allows me to do is I can record wherever, and then I can slot this into my little docking station on the computer and drag and dictate. Get this, will transcribe what I've just dictated. While you're watching this, I'm actually going to show you some dictation and show you how it works. Okay, so now I'm going to do this as a little example of how I dictate. Okay, so you'll hear the differences in dictation because you have to do the punctuation as well as talk, as well as the actual lines themselves, right? Okay, so let's go. Now, what I do with this is that I just press up to record, and then when I've stopped to think or do something else, I just turn it off for a second. I can rewind and all that. That's why the dictaphone's so cool. It means I can walk around. I'm not going to do that here for the camera, but I can walk around and do this dictation, and it is a sensation. And I've just been doing this over the last week since I discovered Dragon Dictate's fantastic new transcribe feature, and it's changed the game. So here, let me show you. Lunch with my mentor, new paragraph. Some years ago, I had lunch at Joe Allen's in Manhattan with my mentor, open bracket, though he would cringe at that word, close bracket, comma. The writer and documentary maker, Norm Stahl, full stop. Now, I've just turned that off for a second so I can talk to you guys. Things like names and stuff like that, it'll probably struggle with, but that's okay. They're easy fixed in editing. But all the rest, you watch how good this is transcribing. He was making some notes on a pad of yellow, comma, legal hyphen size foolscap paper, full stop. He told me something that has saved my bacon more times than I can count, colon, new paragraph. Steve, comma, God made a single sheet of yellow foolscap exactly the right length to hold the outline of an entire novel, full stop, new paragraph. What did Norm mean by that, question mark. Okay, so let's have a look and see what's happened on the computer. By the way, that's a little excerpt from Stephen Pressfield's magnificent book, Do the Work. You should read and find out what Norm said. So here I am opening up Dragon Dictate and going to the transcription service. You can see it's already recognised the dictaphone, and I'm just going to select the file I just recorded and click open, and watch how quickly this does this. So it's downloading that information and transcribing in real time. There's no way I can type this quickly. Now, it doesn't get everything right. You can see it said mental instead of mentor, but that's easy to fix. In fact, you just tap edit. But did you see? Look, it's done. It's already typed. And imagine when you do this over, say, 10 minutes of dictating. It's spelt everything correctly. It's just editing a couple of little words here. And that's it. It's done. How extraordinary is that when you think about the time that you can save? And since I've been using the dictaphone, it's really changed everything because it's made it so much easier to do. Really, I encourage you to check this out. My name is Ed Dale, and if you're watching this video anywhere besides on my blog at eddale.co, head over there. That's where all the community is. That's where all the action is. That's where all the goodies are. That's where I'm answering comments and questions. Scroll down, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you.